Okay, this video is on substituting into index form or power form. Okay, so right now I've got a squared up here, and of course for a substitution question it's going to tell you what you're swapping for. So in this case, if it's an A, I'm swapping in for the number 2, if there's a B, swapping it for the number 3, and if there's a C, swapping it for 4. So an A squared, hopefully we can remember that this is the base and this is the power. So I'm going to write that out as A times A. Okay, now this is, now I substitute in. So if I've got A times A, what that actually is substituting is 2 times 2 and y2 because it tells me up here A equals 2. So that's it, and 2 times 2 is 4. That's it, okay, for substituting into the index form up here, okay. For B, for number 2, which has a B in it, this is B to the power of 3. And hopefully what we're remembering is that this is the base and this is how many times I write it. So I do B times B times B. And when I substitute into that, 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 equals 27. So that's that done. With this one here, this is just C to the power of 2, which all it means is C times C. And when I substitute in, when I change C for the number, the question's told me that it's 4. This is 4 times 4, which equals 16. Remembering that you could use any letters of the alphabet. It didn't have to be A, B, C. I just wanted to keep it really easy. And it didn't have to be those particular numbers. I've kept the numbers low just to be able to show you, and you won't be given massive numbers anyway. Over here, this here, A squared plus A, and you'll notice next to these ones, what I've written is I've written bed mass down. Brackets, explosions, exponents, division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. So because there's more than one sign involved here, or more than one operation, I should say, then we have to use bedmass to work out which one we're going to do. So if we write this out in full instead of the shortcut version, then this becomes A times A plus 8. Okay? And then if I substitute into that, and what I'll do is I'll just write it underneath. I think I've just got enough room. In here it tells me A is 2, so I'm going to go 2 times 2 plus 8. Okay? Now with this, I'm going to use bedmass to tell me what to do first. And because multiplication comes before addition, I'm going to go 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 8. So the answer to this one is 12. Okay? You can see you get a very different answer if you don't follow bedmass. And this is why we have bedmass, because at times there may be the opportunity to get more than one answer. But in maths, all we want is a rule. That means that no matter who does that calculation, they should get the right answer, and the right answer can only be one answer. So you can see here, if you added these two together and got 10, and then multiplied it by 2, your other possible answer could be 20. So we have this rule so that everyone gets it correct. Just pretty much like everyone drives on the right side, over in New Zealand drives on the left-hand side of the road. It's just a rule that everyone sticks to in New Zealand. Here, this is B to the power of 3, take away 4. So again, when I write that out in full, minus 4. And then when I substitute in, this becomes 3 times 3 times 3 minus 4. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, minus 4 is 23. So that's your answer there. Okay? For this one here, A squared plus B squared. Now, because this is index or power, it comes under the exponents up here. Okay? So this is no different to what we've been doing before, where we've gone A times A and then we've gone B times B. But this is telling me that I need to add them. So that's what I'm going to do there. So all I've done is just written out for it. Then when I substitute in, where I go 2 times 2 plus 3 times 3, what I must do first is I must do the multiplication first. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 3 is 9. So this becomes 4 plus 9, and that equals 13. Okay? okay? So we're using BEDMAS when we have more than one operation involved, okay? What I'd recommend before you try and take any shortcuts with this, write it out in full until you're confident with it, and once you're confident with it, you can then just go 2 squared is 4, plus 8, 12. Okay? I'm going to roll down for the merit. So this will be the achieved. This is merit, okay? And what I want to show you here is, again, using BEDMAS to work out the answers. So in this case, I swapped the letters and I've said x equals 1, y equals 2, z equals 3. So I substitute them. Before I do that, I'm just going to write this out in full, and how to write it out in full is 4 times x, because there's 2 of them. Then I substitute in, so 4 times 1 and times 1. Well, 4 times 1 is 4, times 1 is 4. So that's your answer to that. Okay? So now for the second one here, where it's 2, z to the power of 2. So this then becomes 2 times z times z. Just put a line with the z so you don't confuse it with the 2. Then I substitute in, so then this becomes 2 times 3 times 3. Excuse me. So 2 times 3, 6 times 3 equals 18. Here, for this one, this is no different. Again, all we're doing is we're taking 3 times y, which is 2. Oh wait, sorry, I'll write it in 4. 3 times y, because there's 2 of them. Then I substitute in 3 times 2 times 2. So 3 times 2, 3 times 2 is 6, times 2 is 12. That's that. Okay, just in case you haven't watched any of the videos or you've forgotten, remembering that in between the 3 and the y, there is the multiplication sign, which is hidden, we don't write it. So if you're wondering why it's 4 times x, it's because there's no sign in between them, so it's a hidden multiplication sign. So that's why I've done that. Up here in 4, 5 and 6, they look a little bit trickier, but they're really not, because if you use BEDMAS, where you've got brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition and subtraction, this should be fairly straightforward. And because the B stands for brackets, I do what's in the brackets first. But before I do that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute the letter, because that's what there is to do first. So this becomes 4 times x to the power of 2. I'll explain this bit in a minute. So then when I substitute into that, this becomes 4 times, well, what's x? 1. Okay? And this is to the power of 2. So then once I've worked out what's in the bracket, this will remove the bracket. So 4 times 1 is 4 to the power of 2, which equals 4 times 4. Which equals 16. Okay, so that would be your answer to that. I'm just a bit wary about the lack of board space that I've got. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this part and just write it on this side of the bracket. So this would mean that I get rid of the bracket, that's that. This equals 4 times 4 because 4 is the base and I write it twice. This now equals 16 because 4 times 4 is 16. This one here, 2z squared, okay? So this here means I do whatever's in the brackets first, so let's do that. So this means 2 times z squared. I then substitute in, this becomes 2 times 3 to the power of 2, okay? I'll just write it up here. 2 times 3 is 6, so 6 squared equals 6 times 6, because now that's my base, and that's how many times I write. 6 times 6 is 36. Done. On this one, 3y to the power of 2, exactly the same technique. There's nothing different, okay? So now this becomes 3 times y to the power of 2, and then substitute in, and y in this case is 2. This means now that this is not needed. So now 3 times 2 is 6. 6 to the power of 2, that equals 6 times 6, which equals 36. And that's it for substituting into index form.